In 1845, the British Empire was the undisputed superpower of the globe, but there remained one holy grail of exploration, the Northwest Passage. This was the fabled sea route through the Arctic that would connect the Atlantic to the Pacific, slashing months off the journey to the riches of Asia. Sir John Franklin, a 59-year-old veteran of the Napoleonic Wars, was chosen to lead the mission. He was given two of the most advanced vessels of his time, the HMS Erebus and the HMS Terror. These weren't just wooden sailing ships, they were the 19th century equivalent of space shuttles. Internal heating? They were fitted with internal steam heating systems to keep the crew warm in -50 degrees C temperatures. Reinforced hulls? Their bows were plated with thick iron to smash through polar ice. Provisions. They carried 3 years' worth of food, including 8,000 tins of preserved meat, soup, and vegetables, a brand new technology at the time. Culture. The ships boasted libraries of 1,200 books and even a daguerreotype camera to document their triumph. On May 19, 1845, the ships sailed from Greenhithe, England, amid cheers and parades. They were last seen by a whaling ship in Baffin Bay in July, waiting for the ice to clear. After that, the 129 men of the Franklin expedition vanished into the white silence of the Arctic. The silence and the search. 1 year passed, then 2. By 1848, the British Admiralty grew frantic. Lady Jane Franklin, Sir John's wife, became a relentless advocate, using her fortune and influence to spur the government into action. The search for Franklin became the greatest rescue mission in history. More ships and lives were lost looking for Franklin than were part of the original expedition. During this period, American involvement deepened. Henry Grinnell, a wealthy New York merchant, funded 2 expeditions to find the lost British sailors, marking an early moment of special relationship cooperation between the U.S. and the U.K. In 1850, searchers found the first clues on Beechey Island, 3 graves of crewmen who had died of natural causes early in the voyage. But there was no note, no direction, and no sign of the ships. The gruesome discovery. The breakthrough came in 1854 when explorer John Ray met a group of Inuit in Pelly Bay. They told a horrifying tale. They had seen about 40 white men dragging a boat across the ice years earlier. Later, they found a camp of corpses. Ray reported to the Admiralty that the men had succumbed to starvation and, most shockingly, had resorted to cannibalism to survive. The Victorian public was outraged. Charles Dickens himself wrote essays attacking the Inuit, claiming civilized British sailors would never stoop to such acts. However, modern forensic science has since proven Ray and the Inuit entirely correct. In 1859, a final mission funded by Lady Franklin found the Victory Point note on King William Island. It was a single sheet of paper with 2 messages. May 1847, all well. April 1848, a frantic marginal note stating that Franklin had died in June 1847. The ships had been trapped in ice for over a year, and the 105 survivors were abandoning the vessels to walk south toward a trading post 600 miles away. Not a single man made it. The science of a slow death. For over a century, historians wondered, how did 129 of the best-equipped men on Earth all die? In the 1980s, anthropologist Owen Beatty exhumed the bodies of the sailors buried on Beechey Island. Because they were buried in permafrost, the bodies were perfectly mummified. When Beatty opened the coffins, he looked into the faces of men who had died in 1846. Tests revealed a terrifying truth. The men had astronomical levels of lead in their systems. The source? The poorly soldered lead tins of their high-tech food supply. The crew wasn't just starving, they were being slowly poisoned. Lead poisoning causes fatigue, paranoia, and cognitive decline. The leaders of the expedition were likely losing their minds as they tried to navigate the most hostile environment on the planet. Furthermore, recent research suggests botulism and scurvy played a role. The very technology meant to save them, the canned food, became their death warrant. The ghost ships return. The mystery came full circle in the 21st century. Despite the written records saying the ships were abandoned in deep water, the wrecks of the Erebus and Terror were found miles from where they were supposed to be, in shallow water. This suggests a haunting possibility. After the official abandonment in 1848, some crew members may have returned to the ships. They may have managed to pilot them further south as the ice melted, living as a ghost crew for months or even years longer than history recorded. The HMS Terror was found in 2016 in such good condition that the glass window panes in the captain's cabin are still intact. Inside, drawers full of maps and journals remain sealed in the frigid, oxygen-poor water. These documents, once treated with modern conservation techniques, may finally tell us the last words of the men who saw the end of the world. Why it matters today. The story of the Franklin expedition resonates with an American audience because it represents the ultimate clash between human ego and the raw power of nature. It's a reminder that even with the best AI or steam engines of the day, we are at the mercy of the environment. It also highlights the incredible knowledge of indigenous peoples. For 170 years, the British ignored the Inuit reports of where the ships sank. When Parks Canada finally looked where the Inuit oral traditions pointed, they found the ships almost immediately. The frozen sailors of the Franklin expedition remain a testament to the era of discovery, a time when the map still had blank spaces and the cost of filling them was often everything.